This segment will teach warning signs and symptoms of sexual abuse or child molestation, recognition of these signs, as well as recommended methods of reporting suspected abuse. Sometimes there may be signs of sexual abuse even if a child or youth does not speak to you directly about it. There are many symptoms to look for that may indicate that abuse has occurred, especially if more than one symptom is present. Listed are some symptoms that may present themselves in a child or youth that is being sexually abused. These symptoms may be serious indicators of sexual abuse, and a person noticing these symptoms should pay particular attention to a child that exhibits them. The presence of any of these behaviors may indicate that sexual abuse has occurred. These behaviors are not, in and of themselves, conclusive evidence that a child has been abused. Did you know most children are abused by people they know? Many people are afraid of reporting sexual abuse. Most sexual abuse is probably never reported to the authorities. Possibly 1 in 3 cases of child sexual abuse is not remembered by the adults who experienced the abuse. The younger the child at the time of the abuse, and the closer the relationship to the abuser, the less likely as an adult the individual will remember the abuse. Other children are often the perpetrators of child abuse, especially if they have been abused themselves. Other signs of sexual abuse to watch out for: workers who spend a large amount of time with kids, or workers who prefer the company of children over adult relationships. Workers who will single out one child for special attention. Workers who spend money on other people's kids. Workers who own children's books or games or toys even though he or she has no children. Workers who spend a lot of time on the internet. Or workers who shun accountability. Look for these patterns of behavior because they are often recognizable signs of sexual abuse. How to report abuse while at camp. Remove child from immediate danger. Call 911 only if an extreme emergency exists. Immediately report abuse to the licensed youth camp operator. The licensed youth camp operator must call the Department of State Health Services. Complete an incident report form, gathering as many details as possible. Church and parental notification will be the responsibility of the licensed youth camp operator. When reporting a suspected abuse, please remember the sensitive nature of this type of report, and whenever possible, maintain the highest level of confidentiality. State law requires all citizens to report suspected abuse. The reporting agency in Texas is the Department of State Health Services. You do not have to give your name when you report child abuse. The child abuser cannot find out who reported them. Suspected abuse is sufficient reason to make a report to authorities. You do not need proof. Your call may make the difference in the very life of a child.